My name is Stine Bidstrup, and I am an artist who primarily works with glass. And I'm originally from Copenhagen, where I live and work today, and have studied glass on the island of Bornholm and also at Rhode Island School of Design in the US. I've chosen to work with glass for a number of reasons. First of all, there was this initial fascination with the material itself and the process of working with hot glass, which I think is very easy to be attracted to and want to learn more about. And then later on it became more of an inquiry into the optical properties of glass, how I could use that to question ideas about vision, the visual sense generally, how we see the world, and how I could use glass to make work that transform or distort or manipulate with vision in various ways. So that's been a focus of mine for the past number of years, and will probably continue to be. So this work that we're looking at now is called Rupert's Chaos, and it's a work where I've tried to couple two pretty disparate things actually. So one is a specific phenomena that happens with glass, and the other is a model developed by a mathematician to describe chaotic patterns. So the glass structure, as we're looking at, is made of these glass droplets and spirals and knots and doodles. And it's made by dripping the hot molten glass into a bucket of water, basically just cold water. And what happens is that the outside of the glass droplet cools instantaneously, whereas the core of the drop remains hot for a little while longer, and then when it cools down eventually, it contracts. That means that there's a lot of stress inside the bulb of this droplet, and that gives the glass some very characteristic qualities. For instance, if you knock on the bulb of this glass with a hammer, nothing will happen, it won't shatter, but if you break the tip of the tail of this sort of tadpole-like shape, it'll polarize completely, actually going from tail to head. And so all these glass spirals and droplets have this, in my opinion, sort of chaotic or at least unpredictable sensation to them. And they were introduced in the 1640s by Prince Rupert of Bavaria, which is where the name originates from, the Prince Rupert's drops. And he introduced them to sort of the royal courts around Europe, and then his uncle, King Charles II, introduced them to the Royal Society in London. And so they took it in and studied it as this sort of scientific curiosity. And it was used as this sort of party trick. Later, it has become much less known, this phenomenon. And it's something that happens usually in the glass studio when you're working with the hot glass. You sort of drop something into a bucket of water accidentally, And it's not really anything that you might normally pay very much attention to. So I've wanted to take this sort of detail that happens in the process of working with hot glass and really dive into that and enlarge that in this work. So this sort of uncertainty around this specific way of cooling the glass, I've coupled with a as I said, a model which was made some 300 years later by a mathematician and meteorologist called Edward Lorenz in the 1960s. And he developed this structure, which this is sort of an attempt at representing to describe chaotic patterns, so these certain dynamic systems and how they evolve over time. So it's pairing these two things into my own sort of pseudo-scientific inquiry about these phenomena, and that's why the title also is a linking of the two, Rupert's chaos. Here, in this gallery, at Buck's Gallery, it's been sort of extended even more onto the floor and the back wall, and also the adjoining walls via casting light through the glass and getting the shadows integrated into the work. The carpet itself is made of, is also designed using shadows and reflections from the glass and then layered onto each other to mimic the structure itself as it hangs here. So for me personally, going abroad to study glass, and specifically going to the Rhode Island School of Design in Providence, Rhode Island, was a very deliberate decision to move away from the traditional Danish or Scandinavian glass tradition that I of course had with me and was also very useful, but I wanted to explore more about this material, and I knew that specifically at this school they were very concerned with challenging the material, challenging ways to approach it, work with it, flip it around 180 degrees, and most of all putting the idea first. And of course the idea is always coupled with the material, but it was more a matter of developing your search and your inquiries, knowing what glass could do, and then try to, within that, try to sort of seek out these little niches where there was something that was interesting to explore. And that could be very, very specific little things, or it could be larger questions, such as how, regarding glass as a lens through which to see, or a filter, or a screen, or something through which you can filter meaning and understand the world around us. I see walls and earthquakes. I see drive-bys going by. Cover your ears to keep the world starting to sigh.
I see bridges being built. I see trees and lakes collide. Notice the sun again. It's flares in your tired eye. I see walls and earthquakes. I see drive-bys going by. Covered